dime.
Yeah.
You know, all the other people are clearly dead when he walks away. And there's no explanation as to why he lets that happen twice, other than, you know, so
Maybe
Laurie...
he just really likes fucking with Laurie.
Yes.
So then Laurie runs out of the house when she sees Michael, and she's in a field, and she runs out into a road, and she's trying to flag down a car. And a dude is driving up in this insane punk music, not punk, rock music is playing.
Yeah, it's basically like Rob Zombie.
Probably Rob Zombie music, and we
yeah.
just don't recognize it.
Yeah.
And so
Knights in White Satin, the rock remix.
Laurie is saying, please help me, and I think, does Michael kill him out there on the road?
He kills him out on the road, and she gets in the car.
She gets in the car, but there's no keys.
Right. The thing, too, is this guy does not look like someone who would be listening to that music. It was clearly just Zombie trying to, like, put his style of music in there. And then the guy gets out, and he's a nice... He's a rednecky dude, but he's, like, a nice type of guy. And he doesn't look... I mean, not... You know, different people can listen to different music, but if you're thinking... Like, when you hear this music pulling up, you figure it's going to be somebody in leather with, you know, piercings and everything. Yeah. And it's just some, like, blue-collar dude.
Yeah. It's probably just a song that Rob Zombie liked that week.
Yeah. It's in White Satin. Wipe your ass.
Sorry, I'm really glad I came up with a musical goal. So, yeah, he kills the guy on the road. Laurie's in the car. I forget, he either has the keys or she's trying to turn the car over and, like, get the engine started. But don't worry, someone turns the car over. It's Michael. He walks over and does the whole, honk, man! And he
picks up the car.
He literally flips the car over. Granted, it doesn't go flying in the air, but he reaches down, grabs the car, bends at the knees, not the back, lifts, and the car goes over.
To be fair, it is a compact sub, and I'm pretty sure any of us could have done that too.
No, but Michael wouldn't want to.
Right, he would just stab.
Yeah, Michael would get stabby or wait her out.
Or he's like, there's that thing I want, that girl. Should I just reach in and get... No, let's roll the car.
Flip the car.
Funner. It'll be better. Yeah, so the car goes rolling down a tiny, tiny, tiny little hill. It starts to catch on fire, too, for some ungodly reason.
And Michael just pulls her out of the car and walks away as the car explodes. Because it's a movie. And what do cars do when they have any slight damage in a movie?
Any trauma whatsoever.
Boom.
They will explode.
Yes.
But he's also walking away with the family.
Yes.
You know,
Sherry
Moon Zombie's there.
With the horse.
The horse, young Michael, old Michael, and Laurie.
And she's saying it's almost time to go home.
But no Judith.
I know, I told you. Like, the only... Because I'm sure in Michael's head, the only people he loves are his sister, Boo, and his
mom.
And yes, that's it, Ronnie, and his mom.
And we cut back to Loomis at this point.
No,
He's
we don't.
watching his... Yeah, this is when we see...
No, we don't. They get to the shack first. First, they get to a shack. It's not artsy. It's not cool. It's just stupid. We get to... It's like an old... It literally is a shack. I was trying to think of, like, am I misquoting this? I'm like, no, it's like an outhouse.
It's Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes. They
And-
get to Shaquille O'Neal.
They get the shack.
In the shack, Michael has got Laurie, and then we start to hear sirens and helicopters. And this is after Sheriff Rackett has gone home and discovered that his daughter is dead. He goes rushing out to get to Michael, and while they're there, like, the police, like, the state police have info on Michael Myers. He's in the shack, and it's like, what? Where did they get this info? Where did this come from? How did you find
they
it?
say there was a witness. You know, a witness saw a big guy.
Oh, really?
drag
Oh, I
the-
didn't hear
It was
that.
the same person that called the cops at the beginning of the first movie.
Right.
Are you fucking with me, or did somebody see what
No,
we saw?
they
All right.
say there was a witness. She saw a big guy drag this girl into a shack. Yeah. So someone witnessed this. And you have... No, this is when we see Loomis watching Weird Al and the interview, because it's finally airing. He's watching
that's
it
when he
air.
sees it, and
Weird
then-
Al's making fun of him like crazy.
The show was interrupted with the news bulletin about that Michael Myers has been cornered, and then all of a sudden Loomis is like, my God! And he goes rushing to help.
Don't forget the see part where he calls himself an asshole right before. He has a moment of self-reflection.
No, I don't remember that. What was that?
You really are an asshole.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah.
Now,
I thought he was talking to Rob Zombie.
This is the point where I'm watching the movie, and we are about 98% through the movie, and I'm still wondering, why is Loomis in this film?
Yeah, he has
seriously,
done
he's
nothing.
done nothing. Why is Loomis in this
He
movie?
has no interaction with any of the regular cast members up to this point
The
whatsoever.
only characters-
He's just there because Loomis should be there.
Right.
The only characters, that he's interacted with are his poor secretary/assistant that he's been giving shit to, and Weird Al Yankovic.
Yes.
It's like there's no other reason for him to be here, and there's none now. He's like, I have to get there, so he rushes out for some reason. He suddenly wants to help, but
Right.
okay. So now we get to the part that I really have to just kick Rob Zombie in the balls for his whole statement of my movies are gritty and realistic. In the shack, the hallucination of young Michael is holding Laurie by the arms, holding her down, while the hallucination of Deborah, Sherry Moon Zombie, is talking to her, saying, like, it's time to go home, sweetheart. And she's like, who are you? She's like, I want you to say I love you, Mommy. Yeah, I'm not exaggerating at all. That's what it says.
No, that's exactly what
She is able to interact in terms of speaking and physically be interacted with by the hallucination that's holding her down. Doesn't sound realistic to me. No,
Not at all.
Doesn't sound. Oh, but I know it's like we're trying to show that she develops insanity later. This is all in her head too. I'm like, I don't care how crazy you think you are. You can't be held down by a. Yeah.
Not to mention, it's established that, first of all, she doesn't know who the fuck they are.
No.
Not just from the Hulu. So, I mean, it's always been, throughout the whole movie, Michael's hallucination. But she has had flashes of them in her hallucinations, like with the Lords of Halloween and whatever.
Right.
But now, all of a sudden, young Michael's holding her down, and she's having Deborah talk to her, saying, I want you to say I love you, Mommy. So, basically, it's like her and Michael are sharing the same parallel brain world.
Right.
And it just, I know that people say you can have mass hallucinations, but it's not like they're going through some sort of trauma together.
Yeah, they're not going through trauma together or all doing the same drugs. It's like, what?
It's not like Michael's going, hey, you saw Mom? He's
Yeah.
just going,
Remember, Mommy? Yeah.
So Loomis arrives on the scene.
he basically teleported there.
Yeah.
He's in
there's
a
no
hotel
way
room somewhere.
He's in a hotel somewhere. There's no way that this standoff is going on for as long as it took him to go from hotel in, I'm guessing Chicago, because it's in Illinois, to Haddonfield. Because he's suddenly there.
Well, you know what? That's probably what it does. He summons his teleportation energy. When he goes, Haddonfield, and bam, he's there.
So he wants to go in and try to help, and Brad Dourif is ready to kill him because
I'm going to kill you because
Yeah.
my daughter's dead.
Yeah.
Chucky.
So he was like, I want to shoot him, and all the other cops have to hold him back, and Loomis runs ahead and he looks at him and goes, I owe you this. It's like, what? Why is it that?
Why are you in this movie, Loomis?
Why are you here? It's like, and all of a sudden you had this self-realization based upon what? That the news bulletin was there?
I'm sorry, under no circumstance would I say any of what happened was Loomis's fault.
No, of course not.
Michael's, he's a psychopath. Loomis tried.
I won't deny
and
that
failed.
Loomis is an asshole.
Yeah, he's
but
been an
it's
asshole.
not his fault.
But everyone's blaming him for everything that happened. And
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, the dude's trying to capitalize, which is shitty, but he didn't
It's like
cause any of it.
Yeah, it's like if a building blows up and you write some book about all the people who died in it.
It's not your
You
fault.
didn't blow the building up. I'm not saying it makes you good.
Loomis should have taken the masks from him as a child.
Told you.
That's
I
just
told you.
how
I've been
is.
saying it all along.
Yeah, you know what? Danny Trejo and Loomis are the real monsters of this series.
Don't let them get those voices out. And if they
Don't
do,
let
you
the
can
walls get you down.
Live in your head, Michael.
see past the walls, Mikey. See past the walls to the fields of blood.
You really are one
Pillars
ugly
and geysers
motherfucker.
of
Oh, wait, that's
gold.
Predator.
So, you see, I love you, Mommy. Loomis comes in. He tries to have his moment in the sun, but nobody really buys it. He goes in, and now the spirits are still holding her, and Loomis even says, like,
Lori, get up.
There's no one holding you. And she's like, get him off me, get him off me. Loomis gets grabbed by Michael. He slashes him in the face a couple times and stabs him in the chest, and he does kill him finally.
Yeah, he roughs him up real good. Although in the theatrical cut of the first one, he killed
technically
Loomis
killed him, too.
So God knows what will happen in the third one.
Right.
Yeah, so...
But at this point, Loomis is basically in his death throes, pulled Michael closer to a window where a sniper does get a clear shot of him.
Yes. And because he's got a clear shot, they take it, and does it hit him in the head? It looks like it hits him in the neck.
It hits him chest neck
It
area.
hits him chest neck.
Okay, so somewhere above,
Above heart, below brain.
Yeah, somewhere in the range, but it's not in the head.
upper
I
tip.
think. The upper tip. So he drops down, and the spirits go away. They let go of Laurie. It's like I believe they just disappeared, don't they?
I don't remember.
But they don't, because he's
They're
been
gone.
shot. Because he's been shot, they're gone, and they can't hold Laurie down anymore. Laurie stands up. She looks down, and she's leaning over Michael, like looking at him.
Who is basically also semi-impaled right now. When he got shot, he
Yeah,
fell
he
back.
falls onto a
like a
piece-
pitchfork or something.
some piece of farming
Yeah.
equipment. Yes. So
He's basically pinned down and not going anywhere.
she leans down in front of him, and behind her you can see Michael raising the knife, and he lets it go.
I
Why,
love
we don't
you.
know.
Well,
Yeah.
she's saying, I love you, brother.
She keeps saying, I
I
love
love
you,
you,
brother.
brother.
But I love you.
Yes, I love you.
Stabby, stabby, stabby.
Yes,
Yeah, so then she stabs him in, the chest a bunch of
Multiple
times,
times.
and then the face, too. And then at this whole time, I'm like, why don't the police move in? They've taken their shot. They've clearly hit their target. He's down. He's the only threat. They should have been in there in 2 seconds.
Yes.
They're
They're the Haddonfield cops.
Again, Brad Dourif's the only one there, and he ain't getting any younger.
No, and Brad Dourif at the moment is basically having a nervous breakdown because, well, let's face it, his daughter is now finally dead.
Yeah.
So, my only question is, so a 357 Magnum round to the head won't work, but a knife in the chest will? What? Okay.
Well, he's
Fuck
also
you.
impaled.
No, not good
He was
enough.
shot by a sniper
And
rifle.
I'm sorry, in terms of the scope of zombies, Michael Myers, they never really gave an indication. I know it's part of the character, so maybe he's working off of what we know from the previous series, but they never really give you an indication of anything supernatural about zombies, Michael.
No.
So the fact that he can come back and stuff, like, okay, I'll even buy that he's huge, so he's pretty strong,
Yeah.
but they don't give any, he was shot in the head, he was in an accident, and he's been living on animals, very probably parasites, you know, stuff like that, and he's
Which
fine.
is probably why he's hallucinating all this.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
why am I?
Parasites
You
in
have
his
it.
brain.
You have a tapeworm, sweetie. Yeah. So we're almost done. The police do not move in, but the only person who walks out of the shack is Lori with the Michael Myers mask on.
Oh
Shocking.
my God!
Yes, it was so shocking.
And
Yeah.
then she takes it off.
She takes it off.
She honestly just puts it on for a few seconds, walks out, and then takes it off.
And it was strange to me because the way to me that it was shot was almost looked like Zombie was trying to make it a reveal that it's
Yeah.
her. Under
Yeah,
even
no,
though it's very
exactly.
clearly her.
Right.
They were
But
trying to make it like it was this big, reveal thing, and it's like, Rob, it doesn't really make sense because they know who I am, and they saw that they just killed Michael. It doesn't make sense
Hey,
for the mask.
in the-
Put it on!
Put
It's
it
like,
on!
okay, fine. And so, yeah.
what I say, oh, no paycheck.
So she puts the
Basically,
mask
that's
on.
how he directs. Dracula.
She puts the mask on, walks outside, and takes it off, and gets down on her knees. And then we get the last shot of the movie. Last shot of the movie. Who wants to do it?
It's this very,
You can do it.
very long hallway. Extremely long hallway. It's a white room. It's a padded room. And there's a bed and someone in a white gown. It's Laurie. She's in the mental institute now with probably the biggest, nicest room I've ever seen. It's not really nice, but definitely
It's
spacious.
very clean and it's very roomy.
It can't be easy to clean a room that big either.
Right. Or that white.
You mean the
What about-
stretched hallway?
Oh yeah, the stretched
Don't
hallway.
you guys keep saying that? Like the room is so big, it's just artistic. It's not
Yeah.
supposed to literally be like you have a room that's 10 yards long.
But it's, 10 yards long because it has a horse walking through it,
Yes,
too.
it does.
A white horse.
Being led by a
Right.
woman in a white dress.
Yeah, and
Scary Moon Zombie.
the last scene we see is Laurie basically giving the same facial expression, and since she had the hair long enough to do it, she looks just like Daig did in the black and white photos of the young Michael Myers. That's the last shot you see is Laurie, and then you hear, "Love hurts,
Yep, directed by Rob Zombie.
love
Yep.
scars," and you keep showing these photographs of people who were murdered throughout the movie, and the last person you see in his great big bushy beard. And he actually looks like the dead body if you've ever seen Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, he does
He
look
looks
like
exactly
the body.
like the body because
Yeah.
it's a bigger guy with a great big bushy beard. How that bushy beard fit under that mask without
No one
popping
will
out,
ever
no
know.
one will ever know, is you see Michael Myers dead. He actually looks like Rob Zombie.
Yeah, a little
And
bit.
that's the end of the movie. And I walked out at this point.
Movie over.
But was there any stinger?
No, there was no stinger.
Because I know you guys sat through the credits.
Yeah, Ash, myself, and
Mr. Black.
sat through to the end of the movie to make sure that there was nothing post-credits, and there wasn't.
Actually,
Mercifully.
I just want to quick, because there is something we skipped, and I realized it halfway through, and I just want to mention this, because this also goes partly into the connection between Laurie and Michael, is after Michael was attacked and he starts eating the dog, back at the house, Brad Dourif has brought pizza home for Laurie and Annie, and, they made a big point that Laurie is now a vegetarian.
Like Rob Zombie.
Right, like Rob Zombie. It's like, I don't want any of that dead meat. And Brad Dourif's like, meat good. Man must eat meat. And we're intersplicing this with scenes of Michael eating the dog.